Alright, I'm AustinBoPER. And money runs our lives. Every day we go to work to make money. Every day we go to stores or businesses to spend money. Every day we are surrounded by money. The time where you're the poorest financially is when you're in college. A big reason why is because there's so much homework and a lot of class time and not a lot of extra time to get a job. Well, when you're a Division I athlete, it is extremely hard to make money, let alone get caught up on homework. That's why I believe that Division I athletes should get paid. Today I'll be talking to you about how college athletes have no time to get a job and make money, how colleges have kind of been using players to make money, and finally my interview with an NCAA official officer. So, why I think college athletes should get paid? I'm kind of a numbers guy in facts, and I kind of looked it up, some of the numbers. They just don't have any time for a job. There's 120 hours in a week, a 5-day week, and of that 120 hours, 40 of it is spent in the classroom or on homework and trying to get homework done. And then they devote 35 hours on average a week to his or her sport. So that right there is 75 hours. And then if you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep a day, that right there is 40 and makes it to 115. So literally there is no time for a jobber to make money. And another big thing is, I mean, we're trying to mold these young adults and everything, and these kids are young, they're 18, 19, some maybe 20. I think financially, if we did give them money, I'm not saying we should give them a lot, just enough. In the long run, I think it'd help them manage money and just, now they're around it and they can, like, they'll have somebody that helps them with it, who manages it, and I just think it would help them out in the long run. So, and the last thing about that is, I mean, if they are trying to somehow get a job and make money, they're probably not doing a lot of schoolwork, and they're getting their education for free, and I think they should take advantage of that, and they should really study and work hard. But if you're trying to get a job, I mean, it's just not going to work out. So now that I've talked about that, I'm going to talk to you about how colleges have been kind of using players. The biggest one is they've been selling their merchandise and like the player's name, and they just get nothing in return. And like obviously ticket sales, they skyrocket when a big name player's at college, and they just make a ton of money. For an example, there's this college football player named Johnny Manziel, right there. He made Texas A&M $740 million, the most of any college football player. $740 million in his 2-year stay at Texas A&M until he went to the pros. Like they just, since he's been there, they sold out every single football game, and they made the stands bigger so they could seat more, and it's just really turned the program around, and they made so much money off of his jersey and just everything they sold of his. And I just think like they kind of use it too because they promote their player with the team name. Like they'll say, oh, okay, Johnny Manziel on the Texas A&M Aggies, or like they just use his name and put it out there. And they just, another thing is they don't give any money back to the player, not like a dime. They just, obviously he gets schooling for free, but all that stuff that they sell his name, they don't get any, he doesn't get anything back. So, to just get more information on this subject, I had an interview with an NCAA official officer. His name was Sam Knight. I asked him a couple questions. My first questions were, what's their view on paying college athletes? And he said, as of right now, we don't think we should pay them because, I mean, that's the rule. He said, but there's been a recent uprise, and he thinks that there could be changes sometime soon. Another thing is, I asked him, what's the biggest reason why they don't? And there was kind of two. He said one was the wealthiest colleges will get all the good players, and therefore, like they just dominate and stuff, they would be too good. And he said that it could cut into some of the funding for school, and they said they just really don't want to do that because it's mainly focused on school. And good education, and sports comes second. And they said how they could, how they could maybe accept thing is they could put a salary cap on each of the teams, so they could only spend so much money each year on players. And my last question was, does money from sports programs go towards academic scholarships? And he said that most of it goes towards all the ticket sales and the revenue and like all the memorabilia, but he said a little part of it does go towards academic scholarships. So what I'm just saying is, maybe your kid won't be a Division I athlete, or maybe they are, but they could qualify for that academic scholarship, and they do help bring in those academic scholarships. So in conclusion, I've talked to you about all my points. I hope you guys have realized maybe why college athletes should get paid. You guys have been a great audience. Thanks for listening.